That's a great deal. Actually, that's a sore dick deal. You can't beat it. Well, I hope you're all doing well. Today's video is going to expand on a previous video I did a while back about how to automate just about any garage door for 40 bucks. So I have two doors that have been running that system now for the last few years just flawlessly. But with my recent garage addition, I now have two more doors that I need to automate. So this time around, I've got the cost down all the way to $16.49 and even simplified the setup. The only difference is that this system is going to have you working with regular 120 volt house line voltage. So if that's something that you're not comfortable with, I'm going to link in the description section. I'll put a link to my Clark Griswold approved version that only has you working with 12 volts, which is basically idiot proof in terms of safety. But if you're comfortable, cutting the end off an extension cord here and working with that, this is definitely the way to go. So let's take a look at all the parts you're going to need here. Number one, you're going to need some sort of controlled outlet. So this can be a Z-Wave outlet that has the on and off built right in, which is what we're going to be working with today. Or your other option is to use any plug-in controlled outlet such as this peanut right here, which can be found for an unbelievable $9.99 right now. I'm going to put the link in the description for this too. I bought a bunch of these that I don't even have a use for, but for $9.99 to have, this is a Zigbee based outlet for less than 10 bucks, you never see that. So that's a great deal. Actually, that's a sore dick deal. You can't beat it. Number two, you're going to need a 120 volt relay of some sort. So the ones that I'm using today are from American Zedler. These run about $6.50 each. I will also link these in the description. You can get even cheaper versions of these, but I like these because of the mounting systems, the little mounting tabs are built right in, and the spade terminals make the setup stupid, simple, quick, and easy, and really makes for a clean installation. The third thing you're going to need is something you probably already have lying around the house, or you can go pick one up at the dollar store. You can get a 6-foot extension cord for $1, but you just need an extension cord of some sort. So this is an old cord off of some tool that I obviously the tool broke, but I cut the cord off, and I tend to save that type of stuff. But if you didn't have that, just an extension cord, we're just going to cut the female end off because this is the only end that we need for this project. So really, that's it in terms of hardware. It's really, for most of you, it's going to be the two pieces. And I mean, what's better than that? It reminds me, what's better than roses on your piano? Tulips on your organ. Giggity, 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 goo! All right, let's see. Let's get back to the idea behind this process here. So the idea behind what we're doing is we're going to mimic the process of pushing the button, the open-close button, in your garage. And as far as your garage door opener knows, you're just pushing that button. So all your typical door safety features like the load sensing, the safety eyes, all of that is going to work as normal. The side benefit to doing it this way is it's controlled by a regular outlet, and it bypasses all of the nanny aids that are built into Amazon Alexas and built into Google Home. Those are the things that prevent you from opening your door by voice or doing certain programs and things like that. When it's just an outlet clicking on and off, it bypasses all those nanny aids, so you can really do whatever you want with it. So with that said, let's get into the setup here. All right, let's take a closer look at the relay itself here. What you see here are two terminals on the left-hand side. These energize the coil of the relay. So that's what we're going to want to connect our extension cord that's plugged into our controlled outlet to these two connections, so that when that outlet turns on, the relay is energized, it closes the circuit. Down the bottom here, we've got three different terminals: a common, a normally open, and a normally closed. So since the garage door button is a normally open circuit, we're going to want to use the common and the normally open, so that when this relay gets energized, it closes that connection just like you would if you're flipping a switch or pushing a button in this case, tricking the garage door opener into thinking you're pushing the button. So to start, we're going to put some spade terminals on the end of our extension cord here and get those guys connected to those two terminals. hopefully you can hear this, but when we plug it in, click, click, click. Every time we plug it in, it is turning that relay on, or in this case, we're going to have it close the connections, but you can also have it open the connections. So this is the outlet that I have gone with, and this is what I have in my other doors as well, but this is a standard GE Jasco in-wall Z-Wave controlled outlet. So we're up at the garage door opener, and you can see the outlet is right in there. So we're going to be plugging our new adapter, our new cord, into the controlled outlet. The door opener itself is plugged into the always on outlet. That's another reason I like using these, is they give you both kind of in one little shot here, and then you can cleanly run the wiring all down. Decided to mount our relay right here, and then these wires are what go to the door switch for the existing garage door opener. And this is not a special opener. In fact, the simpler your garage door opener, the better and the easier it is. So there's nothing special about this, just a basic Chamberlain. So we're going to put our terminals on here and then get it connected to our common and normally open relay contacts. Okay, so we're all connected up, and I tightened all the wires tight to the support here using some zip ties, so you don't have to worry about anything getting in the way of the chain. And theoretically now, when I push this button on the outlet itself, our garage door should actuate. There we go. We are good. Alright, so just using the Alexa Listens app on my phone here, we're just going to test the basic functionality now and make sure it works. So stay tuned to the video. I'm going to show you how to create more natural speech and make it work in a way that makes a lot more sense. But for right now, I'm going to give it the command to turn that outlet on, just to make sure that our hardware portion is working. Turn on garage door 3 outlet. Here we are. So that works, and I can still go back over to my wall switch here. We can stop it and lower it back down. So the basic functionality of the relay, it's doing what it's supposed to do. Now we're going to go into the programming side of things, and we're going to make this a much more natural process of just telling her to open garage door 3 instead of turning that outlet on. We're also going to make sure that the outlet is shutting itself off automatically after a couple of seconds, so that it doesn't screw anything up. And yeah, and we'll set up some programming even on the advanced side, because really what we have now is a voice controlled door, but it's still stupid. The next step is going to be, how do we make this door smart now by using a door sensor? Okay, so the first step to getting some things automated here is to create a rule, and regardless of what system you have, obviously we're looking at Habitat here, but whether you have Habitat as your hub, SmartThings, Wink, Vera, you name it, they all have something similar. And what we want to do is create a rule that automatically shuts off the outlet shortly after turning it on, so it acts just like you push the button on a switch. So we're going to create our new rule here, and we're going to define it and call it, let's do garage door 3, whoops, door 3 outlet auto off. And conditions are going to be based on the switch turning on, and we're going to select garage door outlet 3. When that switch turns on, that's the condition that we're looking for. Alright, so when that action is true, we're going to want to delay this, because if you don't delay it by some amount and that thing shuts off immediately and it just blips on, there's a good chance that your garage door opener isn't even going to notice that. So we want to kind of mimic what it's like when you push the button on the door. So we're going to put a delay of 1 second in there so that it keeps those contacts closed long enough to make sure that it's getting the message. So we'll hit done on that. And let's see, the action is going to be to turn off these switches. So we're going to select garage door 3 outlet. And I think that's about it.
Done. Done. So what ends up happening here is when the garage door 3 outlet is on, currently it's not, so that's why you see false. Excuse me. Once that outlet is on, there'll be a delay of 1 second, and it will automatically turn that garage door outlet off. So we'll hit done, and that part is done.
Now let's talk about making the door smart. So this requires the use of a normal door and window sensor. And don't bother, in my opinion, don't bother buying an actual garage door tilt sensor. They really bend you over backwards on those. In a simple door and window sensor, this particular one's from Go Control. These you can pick up for about 10 bucks versus a door sensor, which are usually 40 or more. So for a quarter of the price, you're doing the exact same thing here. And I'll show you what that looks like once it's mounted on the door track itself. So here's a door sensor that I have on my first garage door. As you can see, I just mounted the sensor to the track, and I took the magnet out of the metal, just it was easier to affix it to the, whoa, hey, hold on guys. Easier to attach it to the little piece that runs along the rail here. So when that door is closed, it knows it because the door is closed. When this thing starts to open, you know, it sends the message to the sensor that the door is open. And that to me is just as easy as mounting a tilt sensor on the door. And it certainly is a lot less expensive.
Okay, so now that you've got the door and window sensor attached, you can now begin to make this setup, you know, relatively intelligent. So we're back into my main hub now. So you see I've got obviously a lot more automation pieces in here, but we're going to take a look at garage door 1 auto close at 10 p.m. So what I've got set up here is that when the time is between 10 p.m. and 10:01 p.m. and the garage door 1 sensor is open, meaning the door is open, let's see, it will then turn on garage door 1 outlet automatically. So what ends up happening here, especially in the summer, I tend to leave my garage doors open all day. It's, you know, in and out doing projects and go in for dinner, forget the doors are open, and sometimes it'll stay open all night, and that is not an ideal thing because I've had a few critters find their way in. So what this does is at 10 p.m. it checks those door sensors. If the door is open at 10, it'll shut it for me. If the door's closed, it won't do anything. So it's just one of those steps to start to make that door not only convenient to open it with your voice or with any apps or wherever you are in the world, you'll be able to trigger it. But you can start programming some smart things like this, which is really pretty cool and pretty handy, all for the low price of $16.49, which is absolutely insane. Okay, so the last part of this is I want to show you how to give natural speech to the function of opening and closing your doors, so that you're not saying, you know, garage door 3 or garage door 2 outlet, turn it on, versus, you know, just open the garage door. So what we're going to do is we are going to go into routines and set up routines for those functions. And you'll see I already have a bunch in here on from my garages, along with some of the audio and a few other things. But we're going to add one now. When this happens, I'm going to do voice, enter a phrase. Alexa, open garage door 3. Oh, I gotta spell 3, that's right. Open garage door 3. Check. Save. I'm gonna add an action. Going to go into Smart Home, control a device, and find that garage door 3 outlet. Garage door 3 outlet. And we want it to power it on. And remember, Alexa doesn't need to shut it off because we've already set up a rule that will turn that off for us as soon as we're done. All we're doing is having it turn on that outlet, and the other app will take care of the rest. And we hit save. So now all I have to say is Alexa, open garage door 3, and the door opens, which is much more natural than, again, telling it to turn on or on an outlet. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add another one for, let's see, close garage door 3. I did it again. Check. Save. Add an action. And smart home. Control a device. Find that device. Hello. Garage door 3 outlet. Turn it on again. And we're done. So that kind of makes it wife friendly or anyone friendly. And the only concern with this, something you have to keep in mind is obviously anyone can open and close those doors when they're doing it by voice, and that's just something that, you know, in my case, I'm fine with that, but it is something that you want to be aware of. Other than that, that pretty much rounds out this video, I think. So as always, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. If you have any comments, concerns, criticisms, questions, throw them down in the comments section. I'm usually pretty responsive there. And close enough to Christmas now. I guess I wish you all a very Merry Christmas, and everybody have a great day.